Hello everyone, it's Angie here at Beads and Plenty More. Today I thought I'd show you a couple of different seed bead earrings. We did do this up as a kit, so you can purchase the kit if you want to get all the supplies together. But we called it Fire and Ice because we've got the fire colors and the ice colors. So I'm gonna get started here. Move these off to the side. And I'm working with 20 gauge wire to make the piece that goes up through the bead cone and up to the hook above. And then seed bead wise, I've got a size 11 seed beads that I'm working with. And you just pick out a few colors that you like. So when I cut wire, I want to cut, so I've got a blunt cut. I always want to make sure that that's the cut that is my good cut. And then I'm going to grab some round nose pliers. I'm going to make a loop. Now the reason that I wanted that cut nice and flush like that is because I want it to come around and close up. And that's important because when I pull that up into my, oh, I got that too big. It's not going to work too well in my, there we go. When I pull that up into my bead cap, my cone, I want to make sure that the thread that I'm using doesn't slip off the end of it. So I want it nice and cut tight to the wire, and it'll end up pulling up into this cone. So I've got some partly started, but generally when I'm threading, I'm going to thread the longest one first, decide what my length is. So I've got the 3 colors here with a 2mm metal bead in between. And these, there's 12 of each of the colors there. So that's the long one. And then everything that I build from there ends up shorter. So instead of using 12, I'm going to use 10 on the next one. But I've got one here, let's grab it. And I've done everything except the last one. So basically what I've done is I've tied my end onto that piece of wire here. And then I've come down, and each time I've come down, I've added the beads I want to add on, finished off with a metal bead at the bottom, and then to come back up, I just thread up through all my beads. So I'm skipping the metal bead at the bottom, and I'm coming back up everything else. And I'm going to make sure that's good and tight. And if it's not tight, sometimes if you just pull the bead at the bottom loose, you can pull all the extra out. And then when I came up each time, oftentimes I'll tie a little slip knot through my loop. So I'll come through it. Got the tail end in there as well. Create the loop and then through my loop. Pull everything good and tight. Now, because I've got that tail end there as well, I'm just going to tie my 2 ends together. Just to finish it off. Let's see if I can find my tail end. Oh. And then once I'm done with my knot, I can just grab my scissors and I can trim everything up good and tight. Now, if you're worried about your knots, you can also add a dab of glue onto this as well. So set that off to the side. And then if I grab my bead cap, I can pull that down over top. Make sure it covers everything, covers my loop and everything. And then generally I fold it over 90 degrees once I've got that. Now, the reason that I do that is because I'm going to bring the loop back around, and I want to make sure that when I bring the loop around, I get a centered loop. So you saw me cut that there. I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm just going to bring it back around to make my loop. So there's the loop. I can open it up just a little bit, hook my hook on, and then just close it up again. So that makes my earring. Now with these guys, you just want to make all your loops the same size. So there's 3 loops here, and you just basically stagger where the metal beads end up so they don't always end up in the same spot. And you've got a little bit of variation to get a little bit of variation in the earring. And then same deal. So 3 loops around, come up through your top here, make your loop with your wire, and hook your hook on. So I hope you enjoyed that and you have a good day.